right. Welcome to the Skippack Township Board of Supervisors meeting for August 10th. We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Frank D'Angelo is not here this evening. Nick Crown here. Mary Miller is also not here this evening. Joe Cool here. Paul Parkman here. Ben Webb here. Ian Woodrow is
absent. This is Lonnie Minoff, and we'll go in session.
welcome, Lonnie. I knew that. Barbara McGinnis.
Present.
Alice Eastmere.
Present.
Joe Zadlow. Here. Great. We need to start the meeting off with a quick appointment here. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Tim Woodrow as the Skippack Township Zoning Officer and Alice Eastmere as the Assistant Township Zoning Officer. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Prior to the meeting, we had executive session where we discussed personnel matters and potential conveyance of real estate. And now we'll open for public comment, primarily for things not already on the agenda. Go ahead.
Laura Hazelborn, Plummill Road. I'm just here about the Fair Hills trees again. We still haven't heard anything from Tim about meeting with the landscape architect. We're gonna run into the fall. We're gonna not be able to do anything until next year. Does anybody know, or is that all Tim?
Lonnie, you hear anything about that?
No, I don't.
When's he back?
Monday.
Okay. Alice, can you just make sure you follow up?
I have it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I know it's hard to imagine it's this hot out, but I get you.
That's why we need the trees. There's nothing but sun making the
Can't
house
plant
right
them now
now.
though, obviously, but you're right, that would be cool soon enough. Yes, hey.
Berta Bracken Store, in case you haven't seen all of the tents that are up on the fairgrounds that are for the 4-H Center, tomorrow starts at 4:30 in the afternoon, runs all day Friday evening till 9:30, Saturday from 9:30 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. So stop by and see the kids fair and their animals.
Thank you. Looks nice over there. Yes, in that.
Justin Glenn, 74 Rosewood Circle. Just if you could give me a clarification for the old business that's under tonight. So consideration of action on 761 College Road LLC, North subdivision, conditional use. What does consideration of action on it mean?
You mean, we'll see if there is going to be a motion and a second to vote on that request.
Is it going to be voted on this evening?
If there is a motion and a second, it will be.
Okay, so was that posted in the Times Herald within the last 4 weeks?
It was properly legally advertised, yes it was.
Where?
Where's the advertisement for the public meetings?
It's in the Times Herald, but we post our agendas to our website, and it's posted out in the lobby. Those are the two postings that we do for these meetings. Times Herald, the zoning hearing board gets printed up in the Times Herald.
No, that's not what I've been told before and what I've read. So, okay, so I guess we have quorum, but the chair's not even here. No disrespect, but I'm just wondering why we went last week with this is going to be indefinitely, and if you're going to bring up a motion, that there's going to be a vote. You know, there's not even much time to tell the rest of the citizens involved who may be interested in the subdivision and vote and motion on said subdivision proposed to even be here. So it's kind of tough when there was no advance notice of such thing and only posted at 4 o'clock. I knew the 24-hour rules, I get it.
Correct.
This used to help us a little further, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm kind of confounded as to why there wasn't more notice.
I appreciate that feedback, thank you.
Was there any reason why there was no?
If we're following the exact form, it's been on the conversation for months, we're gonna move forward.
No, it's not the same that you've been following from us.
Sir, let me answer your question. The public hearing was legally advertised in accordance with applicable law. This meeting this evening was advertised in accordance with applicable law.
It was never said that items were gonna be put on indefinitely. What was said was that the waiver that was granted was indefinite. I made it very clear when reciting that indefinite waiver at last month's.
I'm aware of these definite
last
waivers.
month, you gotta let me finish.
Please
That's
don't
the question, you gotta let me
put me. I'm
finish.
not stupid.
You gotta let me finish.
I will.
I was very clear when we announced the indefinite waiver at last month's public meeting, that a decision could be made at any time. And we don't even know yet whether a decision's gonna be made tonight, and you're complaining about it.
No, it's not complaining, I'm
And
asking
the
for
chairman
questions.
made the
That's not a
point at the
complaint.
beginning that he was asking for public comment on non-agenda items. When we get to that agenda item, the way this might go, if it goes at all, is there will be a motion, perhaps, for either approval or denial. There then may be a second, perhaps, on the denial or the approval, and then there'll be an opportunity to make comment. So at that point in time, if all those things unravel the way they might, you can make your comment.
For the record, I'm not complaining, and you projected that on me, and put semantics of the last thing you were very clear on. What you were very clear on was the fact that it was indefinite. Was there any other paperwork besides the one that was signed in 2021 that gives a year? So where was that signed to give it indefinite? Where was the waiver? Or was that just a condition to waive it? Because
Let me ask you one more question,
for
Tony,
1
sir,
year.
because this is not a question and answer period, this is public comment. Emphasis on
Comments.
comments, not a question and answer period, and it will not go on indefinitely until you feel you are satisfied with an answer. So I'm gonna answer one more question for you. There was an indefinite waiver granted by Mr. Eric Fry, the applicant's attorney, and was granted in the form of a letter to me as the township special solicitor on waivers matters. Now, you made your comment, is there anybody else who'd like to make a comment? Go ahead, sir.
Regarding traditions and Skippack, I did sign it as being a comment, I didn't realize that it was for only for non-agenda items, but the agenda item regarding that development, the only thing we remain concerned was the additional entrance and exits.
And on the agenda, we'll talk about what potentially, would be included in that contingency. Okay? Thank you. I see a hand back?
Yes, Sandy, I had requested, copy of the agenda, and I know it's 24 hours prior to this meeting, but, and I understand you have last minute changes that you need to go through, and you don't want to put something out that would change, which I totally understand that, but it's hard for us as citizens to know what is going to be on this meeting the night before. Like, at 4 o'clock, I still didn't know yesterday, and that was kind of frustrating, because I'm trying to make my plans and schedules to come to this meeting, and I know some people have babysitters and planning that they're trying to get to, and we don't know if something is gonna be on like this. We thought it wasn't, and now it's popping up, so that's just my comment to this, and it was confusing on the wording consideration of action, just because I think Alice knew and Chris did it in a different way, and worded it different, so we're very confused, and we're trying to keep up, and we're not sure what the wording actually means. That's why I guess clarifying.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate your comment. It's always be consideration. If it was something other than our consideration, that would be a pre-planned outcome, and that would never be the case. Right? So, thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. Any other comments? Seeing none, we will go into the rest of the business here. Now, do I have a motion to approve the July 13, 2022 minutes? A motion, second, all in favor? Aye. I will make a motion to approve the treasury report as of July 31st, 2022. Do I have a second? I'll second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Let's pay some bills all at once. Pay the interim bills paid on July 25th, 2022. The general fund of $65,454.38. The sewer fund of $8,069.37. Parks and open space, $25,919.53. As well as bills for payment on August 10th, 2022. The general fund of $30,580.94. Sewer fund of $101,180.22. Parks and open space of $14,841.74. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. All right, Lonnie, you're up. What do you got?
First on the engineering, thank you, Acting Chairman, by the way. Appreciate the opportunity. The first item we have is a escrow release number 2 for Biltmore Lot 143. And it's the second release for this project. And at this time, based on field observations, we find that sufficient work has been completed in accordance with the approved plan in the amount of $171,482.33. And by releasing this amount, the total account balance for the project will be reduced to 0.
This is the final payment for Biltmore Lot 143.
Correct. And I want to point out that the punch list items that we had generated for this project have been completed to our satisfaction. And the NPDES permit, notice of termination, has also been filed with the County Conservation District and is complete.
All right, excellent. In that case, I will make the motion for the second and final escrow release for Biltmore Lot 143 in the amount of $171.42.33. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Keep going on a roll.
All right, the second item on the agenda is the Knolls at Skippack, 4446 Skippack Pike. And this is escrow release number 1 for this project. And again, based on field observations of the work completed, we find sufficient work has been done in accordance with the approved plan in the amount of $13,063.25. And by releasing this amount, the total account balance for the project will be reduced to $259,481.01. The balance, as I stated, the $13,000 represents mostly erosion control and some minor earthwork that's been done at the project.
All right, thank you. It's pretty easy, a lot left over in escrow.
Yes.
I will make the motion for release number 1, 4446 Skippack Pike, the amount of $13,063.25. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. All right,
Yeah.
you have one more item on the agenda?
I do. This is a memorandum that Mr. Woodrow sent to the township. It's the Landis Road Trail Extension Project. There was a bid opening. There were 3 bids that were secured, 3 bids, and the lowest bid was by Mr. James R. Kenny in the amount of $409,515. This was the low bid by at least $80,000 of the 3 bids. Mr. Kenny has done work in the township before, most notably the Farmer Park project, and he's done some other projects that he completed to the satisfaction of the township with good workmanship.
Excellent. All right, do I have a motion to approve the Landis Road Trail Extension bid to Jim Kinney?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Anything else?
That's it for now.
Thank you, Lonnie. Our solicitor isn't here tonight, but he called me and said he had nothing for the agenda. And Joe Zabo, planner, you're up.
Nothing this evening, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Alice. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I just wanted to make an announcement that our Lenape Park grand opening is going to take place on August 27th, and that's from 10 a.m. to 12. There's going to be music and Kona ice, a lot of fun for the family. I also want to announce that there's a special event permit that's been submitted, and it's for Ride Ataxia Philly, and it represents a charity bike ride with money being raised for Frederick's Ataxia Research. And we have a 2023 financial requirement and municipal obligation, which we're going to table till next month. I'm still waiting for some other numbers to come in, so that'll be brought up next month.
All right, looking forward to that Lenape Park grand opening. Bring your hiking shoes if you feel so inclined to try the trail. It is very steep. And for the special event permit, should we
need a motion. Yep.
All right, and they're insured and have everything filed properly?
They are. We have all the paperwork.
I have a motion to grant the special event permit to the Ride Ataxia Philly charity.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. All All right, let them know they can have their event. All right, old business. I understand that Joe or Shelby taking the first item there.
We are.
For Resolution 2022-24.
We are. The recommendation is that that item be tabled. There were some comments from the planning commission regarding a reconfiguration of the minor two-lot subdivision for more regularly shaped lots than what is currently being proposed. The applicant is receptive to that suggestion, has indicated that they will be amending the plan, and I expect you're going to see that one change made and this back on the agenda.
Okay, great. Do you have anything else for us today?
I do. I have one other item. That is the matter of consideration of action on 761 Collegeville Road LLC, the Mill Run subdivision. You'll recall that this was a matter of great discussion in recent months. Most recently, there was a public hearing properly advertised in the conditional use application, at which point there was much public comment. The applicant presented their case in chief through the offer of expert testimony and lay testimony on a stenographic record, subject to cross-examination from the public and from this board. There have been recommendations made by staff as a result of the ongoing discussions, suggestions by the supervisors, and comments from the public. There's a memorandum prepared by me listing those proposed conditions in your agenda packet this evening. And we're in a position, we being staff is in a position to recommend to the board or ask the board if there is a motion to approve this application as submitted, subject to the conditions set forth in that August 8th memorandum from my office. Is there such a motion?
I will make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
Mary Myers, Traditions, and Skippack. You're going to vote on amended changes or recommendations from you. Can that be shared with the public before?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
And there are 2 entrances.
Okay.
Why don't I, there are 21 proposed conditions that are in the agenda packet. Why don't I hit the high points, and then we'll see if there's any further questions.
And I would also ask, when you do vote on your motion, if you do a roll call vote? Okay, that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Okay, again, as I said, I'll hit the high points of the conditions, and then we'll see if there are any further questions. One condition I think we mentioned a number of times is that the applicant will proceed through and obtain land development approval on the proposed project, and that development application will be in a form substantially similar to the testimony and exhibits that were received as part of the conditional use application, subject, of course, to any changes specifically requested in further conditions. Another condition would be that the plan submitted for land development approval will depict a new additional public roadway connection into the project at that portion of the subject property which abuts Mill Road. Another condition would be that the plan submitted for land development approval will eliminate 3 lots along the project's Collegeville Road entrance and readjust to the west those lots which remain along that entrance road to the board's satisfaction. Another condition would be that the recorded plan of development of the project contain a note prohibiting the development of any additional property abutting this subject property to be joined into this project in any manner. And also the condition that the applicant will improve the project's Collegeville Road entrance to provide safe access and a center island matching the opposite traditions entrance. Okay, so those are the primary conditions.
I think one of the things that the residents, asked for, and we are, was, what do we get back, right? So there's a park, they've given us contiguous, space for that park, where they're gonna do improvements, the playground gazebo, water and power. So there's lots of conditions, 21 conditions of things that we spent the last several months listening and making sure we know the staff can get put in here, so. Thank you for that feedback, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
No disrespect to anyone here, but the chair is not here, our main engineer is here, is not here, no disrespect. But how are we doing this in darkness without, I understand it's a quorum, but there is not a full docket of the people here, sorry for my expense words, but not everyone is here. Why are we voting on this now? And I just don't understand. I understand what's been done and what's been legally presented and what is part of doing this on an off summer day, where the chair is not here, where Mr. Woodrow is not here. Could you ask me why we're doing it today? Is it because the year extension is up in September?
Well, if there's no conspiracy, you're gonna be disappointed. We have meetings every week, every month, where there are people who can attend. Personal vacations, personal time off. There's plenty of meetings where there's a missing member of the board, missing member of the staff. And we legally move forward with the business of the township.
Mr. Fox, this is not a conspiracy. I was not saying there's any conspiracy. I was saying why we're doing an important, large subdivision like this. That would be something for a doghouse or a pit for someone, you know. This is not something where you don't have your full slate of staff who has been here for the longest time doing this project.
It involved every step of the way for months. Thank you for your comment. We have to move forward with the business of the township. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars saving a bill. We didn't hold up this Frank Elizabeth.
Let me also say that this project, if approved, this conditional use application, if approved, is going to require 3 votes. Whether Mr. D'Angelo is here or not, it's going to require 3 votes. If anybody is put to a disadvantage as a result of Mr. D'Angelo's absence, it's the applicant. Because the applicant has a lesser likelihood of achieving 3 votes in the absence of Mr. D'Angelo than he might have Mr. D'Angelo been here. Nothing happened under cover of night. This application has been considered and is ongoing for months and months and months. And it is being acted upon tonight with 4 members of a 5-member board. And it is being done in the light of day and under a spotlight of public advertisement and videos and an audience present, including you. So thanks for your comment. Let's see if there's any other questions.
The lack of public advertising, it has not been proliferated across multiple platforms within the last month.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment.
Michael Pahalski, Mill Meadow Road. I just wanted to say that I'm disappointed about the Mill Road change. This is the first time it's actually been officially back. And, clearly we did on Mill Meadow. I think that's not a very good place for it. I'm just disappointed that it's back. Thank you.
Yeah, and the applicant's own traffic expert weighed in and said they prefer, when they were trying to get only one entrance, their own expert said they prefer second one for overall safety. So that was a big sway in that effect. And it's difficult to make the compromises for everybody. I hear you loud and clear. Safety was out of our hands.
Okay, hearing no further questions, I would ask.
Yes, there's one here.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I too am very disappointed that, we're only reducing the 3 houses. I mean, I know there's a lot of comment over that and a lot of, concern about the impacts that 58 houses are gonna have. And for us, I mean, I'm glad that we reduced by 3 houses, but I don't see where the board's gonna take in the comments there. I know the entrance was adjusted because of certain people, thinking that one entrance was too much on the demand of just one road. But I don't feel like the board really heard any of the other public comments, over traffic and all the other impacts it was gonna do. And I'm very disappointed that it was only reduced by 3 houses.
I hear you. I will say this, the project started in the 60s, so it's, the latest requirement was 3 more, but along the way, there have been lots of reductions, starting in the 60s. Okay, next person.
I'm just gonna echo, I'm learning about this process now, I'm very disappointed in the whole way that this whole thing has gone down. My question is that the way I heard what you said about the lots was 3 lots were moved to a different area.
No, eliminated.
Eliminated totally, not
Correct.
moved to the other,
Yeah,
okay?
eliminated. Decreasing density by 3 units.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we have a motion and we have a second on the table. I would ask all those in favor, we've had a request for a roll call vote, so I'm going to start with you and move down the aisle.
I vote yes.
Benjamin Webb, vote yes. Paul Fox, yes. Nick Johnson, yes.
Motion carries unanimously among those present. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. It will now go to building development where further restrictions will be in place and it will be beautiful when it's done. All right, we got to new business now. I have resolution 2022-25. Who's covering that?
This is a resolution assigning me as designated agent, to work with FEMA and the FEMA group, due to the Hurricane Ida that came through and damaged quite a few of the properties that were in our township. So we've been working with different federal agencies to acquire grants to help buy back some of the homes that were severely damaged and will constantly be in a floodplain. So that's what that designation is for.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of support for this among the residents. It's great to move forward with it. I will make the motion for resolution 2022-25 to designate Alice Eastmere as the executive for Skippack Township FEMA. Do I have a second? I'll second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried. I see nothing else on the agenda, am I correct?
We're looking for a motion for adjournment, Mr. Chairman.
I will make the motion for adjournment, is there a second? I'll second. Motion second, all in favor? Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the support.
Oh, Larry, how you doing? I couldn't find that.